it is one of the most anticipated competitions across B schools because it gives you PPO, PPI opportunities if you get to the finals, and the cash prize is amazing.
Really, you actually bought an insurance afterwards.
बहुत बच्चों की कंप्लेंट होती है कितना एप्लीकेबल है व्हाट वी आर स्टडिंग व्हाट वी आर रीडिंग क्या करें हम इसका व्हेन यू पार्टिसिपेट इन दीज कॉम्पिटिशंस यू गेट टू नो कि इंडस्ट्री में क्या हो रहा है
5 लाख एक वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल के लिए ही अच्छी खासी अमाउंट है। तो थिंक अबाउट योरसेल्फ एज अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट। अगर आपको 5 लाख मिल गए तो कुछ वक्त के लिए तो आई एम श्योर कि आप अपने आप को इलॉन मस्क से कम नहीं समझेंगे। एंड दिस इज नॉट इवन अ जोक बिकॉज सम किड्स आर रियली विनिंग सच हेवी अमाउंट्स इन देयर कॉलेज। बट कैसे? लेट्स चेक इट आउट। आज के हमारे ग्रोथ शो में हम मिलेंगे अदिति और निसर्ग से। एंड 1 सेकेंड, अदिति ये वाली नहीं, दूसरी वाली जो एफएमएस दिल्ली से अपनी एमबीए कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं और बजाज फिनसर्व एटम सीईओ चैलेंज जैसे नेशनल लेवल की कॉर्पोरेट कॉम्पिटिशंस जीत चुके हैं, जिनके प्राइजेस 100,000 में नहीं सीधे लाखों में हैं। तो क्या है इनके इतने हाई विनिंग रेट का सीक्रेट फॉर्मूला? चलिए देखते हैं।
Hi Aditi, hi Nisarg. Glad to have you here. So I'm really excited about this podcast क्योंकि हमने एक नई सीरीज स्टार्ट करी है जहाँ पे हम जो भी पॉपुलर कॉम्पिटिशन्स हैं कॉलेजेस में उनके विनर्स को हम यहाँ पे लेके आएंगे एंड दे विल शेयर देयर विनिंग स्ट्रैटेजीज. So obviously you are the first and the luckiest one. So welcome to the growth show. So yeah, before going ahead, मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप दोनों अपना एक इंट्रोडक्शन से. तो Aditi, please go ahead.
Thank you for having us. Hi, I'm Aditi. I've been born and brought up in Delhi. I did my schooling, undergrad, everything from here, now postgrad also from FMS Delhi. I did my BTech in mechanical and automation engineering, and after that I joined FMS where I'm majoring in strategy, marketing and operations. I love to paint and dance, and corporate competitions are something that I did a lot of in my first year at FMS. Over to Nisarg.
Thank you for having us, guys. I'm Nisarg and I did my schooling as well as my bachelor's here from Ahmedabad. And right now I'm pursuing my MBA from FMS Delhi and I'm majoring in finance.
So आपके और जो 2 टीम मेंबर्स थे आपकी टीम में वो दोनों का क्या बैकग्राउंड था?
So one member, Karan, is also an engineer, and the other member was a maths major. So
Okay.
we were basically very science heavy team because everyone was from science background. But Nisarg was the finance force. बाकी सब लोग थोड़ा input देते थे creativity के terms में. Financial feasibility सारा निसर्ग का डिपार्टमेंट था.
So I think Nisarg and we'll vibe a lot. We are from a fintech company, so it's a tech and finance. So I think जो starting में भी बहुत सही competition के साथ हमने की है with this right set of students. So yeah, जो ये जो National Bajaj Atom competition है, एक बार just give a brief about like हमारे audience को brief दीजिए कि exactly competition है क्या?
राइट तो मैं थोड़ा कॉर्पोरेट कॉम्पिटिशन्स का बैकग्राउंड दूंगी पहले. सो व्हेन यू जॉइन एन एमबीए प्रोग्राम, द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव और one of the biggest things that students look out for are internship opportunities and job opportunities from the biggest companies that they want to work for. One way is you get placed through your campus, through the placement cell, and another very interesting way is through these corporate competitions. So to increase their engagement across campuses, many companies organize these competitions so that students take part, and as a reward they give out cash prizes, goodies, PPIs and PPO opportunities. So you get to work with these companies firsthand through these competitions. So they are open to mostly first and second year students. कुछ competitions होते हैं जो सिर्फ first year students के लिए open होते हैं because they offer an internship opportunity. Bajaj Atom is open for both first year and second year students. There is no limit on specialization. Like Nisarg said, he's specializing in finance. I am specializing in strategy, operations, and marketing. So there was no limit as to if we need to have a special specialization to apply for this competition. And about Bajaj Atom, it is organized by Bajaj Finserv, and it is one of the most anticipated competitions across B schools because it gives you PPO, PPI opportunities if you get to the finals, and the cash prize is amazing. So we won 5 lakh rupees as a winner.
5 lakh.
Yes.
Wow.
And thankfully,
Did you pay tax? Did
that's
you pay
what I'm
tax on
saying.
it?
We did not, thanks to Bajaj. The way that they transferred the money, we didn't have to pay any tax, so that was great. That was the prize money, and it is a kind of a stretched process, goes over about a couple of weeks, but you do learn a lot during the whole process. So the basic idea is that they will give you problem statements that are from CEO's office, problems that are being faced by the company. अब ये problems किसी भी type की हो सकती है. They can be around distribution, they can be around insurance policies. This is specific to Bajaj's products, of course. It can be around marketing. So they are related to different domains, but every problem is centered on finance because that is their core product. Um, you as a team have liberty to pick any problem statement and work out a solution for it. And this solution obviously has to be based on some facts and figures, and obviously your creativity. And they have multiple rounds. Just may you go with your idea uh, through various investors. So Bajaj Atom is based on a very startup kind of a idea and foundation, where after identifying a problem, you have to pitch yourself to the investors. You have to pitch yourself, and you have to pitch the idea that you've come up with. So
Okay, so it's like
everybody,
a kiddish, it's like a Shark Tank for college students.
yeah, it's a simulator.
Yeah,
Shark Tank has
yeah.
one round. Here you have multiple investors.
How many rounds?
So you have a seed funding round, which is the first round. Then you have Series A and Series B pitch. After that, you have the finale. So four rounds in total. Seed funding round happens on a campus level. So if you are applying from, say, IIM Bangalore, you will be competing against all the teams at IIM Bangalore. And from those, top teams are picked for the next round, which is the Seed A round, where you will be competing against other B schools. And similarly for Seed B, again you'll be competing against other B schools. And then what they try to do is they try to pick one winner from every problem statement that they have. So as I mentioned earlier, they have 4 to 5 problem statements. They try to pick one key winner from every problem statement that they have.
एंड आपने कौन सा प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट पिक किया था?
बजाज एटम की एक अच्छी बात ये है दैट दे लेट यू गिव सबमिशंस फॉर 2 problem statements if you wish to solve them. We were interested in 2 statements. One was around pitching health insurance to millennials and Gen Z, which is our generation, and second was around distribution of health insurance in the country, and basically revolutionizing the distribution network for it. We wanted to submit for the millennial Gen Z part only, but Nisarg here had done some very good research on distribution system as well, and he single-handedly pushed our team कि नहीं हमें दोनों के लिए submit करना है. We submitted for both the ideas. We went till seed A for both the ideas, but after seed A, we only made it for the distribution network problem.
So I think निसर्ग का आइडिया काम कर गया.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, they only let you go ahead for one single idea so that you can focus your resources on that. So I think they selected the second one. But yeah, I think the judges were happy with both of those.
So I want to understand your distribution of the health insurance to like
Across India, like pan India,
across India,
how
pan
do we
India.
change the
Hmm.
distribution network that is used?
हाँ. So it was not specific to millennials and Gen Z. It
No,
was
no.
like it was like हमें distribute करना है. आप सीड राउंड में हमने दोनों आइडियाज पिच करे थे, है ना?
Mhm.
So I mean I think निसर्ग गोवर्धन अदिति आप बता दो कि हमें दोनों सीड राउंड में आपने उस आइडिया में क्या बताया था?
So there is a very clear submission guideline. They usually take a one pager in the first seed pitch round. One page may you have to summarize your idea and basically tell them what you're going for. This year, I believe they have also asked for a 7-minute pitch video, which gives the participants a chance to visualize it better, because one page is a very small space to summarize your idea. So they have a pitch video also that you can submit along with the idea. So for us, the challenge was we had a lot of information overload. We wanted to basically compartmentalize our submission in a way कि we are covering all the key aspects and we are also giving the relevant information without making it too texty. जो हमने notice किया competition में, the problem was that many teams were making it too text heavy, and
Yeah.
अगर आप company perspective से सोचो, it's very difficult to go through hundreds and
All this.
thousands of submissions that come
Yeah.
your way.
There's
So
one line, just sorry for cutting you down. There's one line in Silicon Valley कि आप कि अगर आप अपना बिजनेस आइडिया एक पेज में नहीं समझा सकते ना, then your business idea is not right. So I think there you won. So how you put your idea into that one page?
Yeah.
आई थिंक
So
जो सेलेक्ट हुआ हम उसी की बात कर लेते हैं। आई थिंक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन वाला गया था, तो वो बताओ उसमें आपने वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन वाला एक पेज में कैसे पुट करा था?
तो आई थिंक बिफोर पुटिंग एनीथिंग ऑन पेज, सबसे पहले बैकग्राउंड रिसर्च बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो फर्स्ट वी अंडरस्टूड द प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट हैंड, बिकॉज हमें किसी का फाइनेंस बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, किसी को इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर के बारे में इतना नॉलेज नहीं है। मोस्ट ऑफ अस आर फ्रेशर्स, सो वी डोंट नो अबाउट दिस इंडस्ट्री अ लॉट। तो आर फर्स्ट मूव वॉज टू गो अराउंड, टॉक टू पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन द इंडस्ट्री एंड आस्क देम कि व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट दे आर फेसिंग ऑन ग्राउंड। डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क तो रिवैम्प करना है, बट व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द करंट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क, व्हाई इज इट समथिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी रिवैम्प्ड। तो वो अंडरस्टैंड करा थ्रू प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी रिसर्च, and we talked to people, we read a lot of white papers, we went on Bajaj's website, we tried to find out what they are doing, we tried to see कि competition क्या कर रहा है, internationally क्या हो रहा है, and after getting a sense of the problem, we tried to figure out what can be tweaked to make a change. So once we had a basic idea कि हमारा idea क्या है और what is it that we are actually pitching, we decided to split our one pager into 3 to 4 sections. So the first section covered the problem background, कि what is the current problem that is being faced. So problem redefinition जिसे हम कहते हैं, so that we narrow it down. Distribution, now do we want to tackle distribution in urban areas or do we want to tackle it in rural areas? How do we want to segment the demographic that we are serving? Do we want to look at people in the income level of 20 lakhs or more? Do we want to look at a lower income level bracket? So ye problem redefinition and narrowing down of the problem was the first thing that we did and presented on the one pager. After that we moved on to what was the current situation and what were the gaps that we identified. Ki okay, problem to ye hai, but what are we exactly doing about it currently and how can it be made better. So that was the solution part of it. Once we gave three-fourth of our slide to the solution aspect and what can be done, we covered a little bit of implementation as well. Because in these competitions, you can come out with very outlandish ideas ki, pura distribution network hata do, agents hata do, make everything online. But that is not very scalable and implementable for a company like Bajaj Finserv. So we looked at the implementation part of it. Ki, okay, maybe in phase one we do this, in phase two we do this, and in third phase we scale it to pan India. So like that we structured our submission, and कोशिश यही थी कि it is very visual, it is very aesthetic to look at, not text heavy at all. तो infographics डाले काफी सारे, and we included a lot of charts.
So Aditi, so the one thing that I got it कि ये जो फर्स्ट पेज में था हमने पहले प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को डिफाइन करा है, फिर ये थे कि हम कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे और उसके कुछ फेजेस बताए कि ये फेजेस होंगे। दैट वाज द वन पेज सबमिशन। एंड जो फिर हम सीरीज ए राउंड में गए, ये उसमें गए थे, देन उस पे क्या हुआ था? निसर्ग, लाइक वुड यू लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट इट?
Basically, we concised our idea. We put in something about market research. We put in something about the solution that we are suggesting, and we broke it down in the one pager. Now, when we move to the seed A round, we have to describe it further. So, like, we get 8, 9 slides, we get 10, 15 minutes to describe the idea. So, how it helps is now you just put it into detail, you go into depth. So one thing which people all like, I think, which always helps in corporate competitions is that you go detail into it. So if you are suggesting one thing, it's fine. You don't have to suggest 5 ideas. Just give one idea, but then cover every aspect of it. Like, what will be the implementation be like? How are you gonna implement it? What resources will be required for implementation? What will be the outcome in terms of measurable KPIs? And then once you have those information, you put it, and that should also be correlated. It should not be like your return on ad spend is like 1500 per 15x. It is usually in a range of 3 to 6x. So you also have to be very clear with the numbers. So because if, let's say, as you mentioned, like if it is a Shark Tank, you go ahead and pitch your idea. Now everything that you are doing should be more of give clarity to the person that, okay, we are gonna do this, why are we gonna do this, how are we gonna do this, and what are we gonna achieve from doing this. So that is what we basically did in that 10-minute pitch in the seed A round.
सो कुड यू ब्रेक डाउन, जैसे हमने वो अपना डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन वाला था तो उसमें एग्जैक्टली क्या आपने वो जो प्रॉब्लम थी कि हमारा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट टू अक्रॉस, तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में क्या था, हम उसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे, तो आपने उसको एक्सप्लेन कैसे करा था, मतलब हाउ मच अमाउंट इट विल रिक्वायर टू सॉल्व और समथिंग, ये भी आपने कुछ अप्रोक्सीमेट नंबर ऐसे बताए होंगे?
उसमें हमने यही करा कि हमने जो प्रॉब्लम्स बताई थी तो उसको थोड़ा फिर बाद में ये देखा कि अच्छा तो हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, तो उसको ब्रेक डाउन किया कि मेट्रो टीयर 1 में अलग तरीके से होता है, टीयर 2+ में अलग तरीके से होता है, विलेजेस में अलग तरीके से होता है। तो उनको समझा वहां पर क्या दिक्कत आ रही है। ठीक है, बजाज अभी यहाँ बेच रहा है, यहाँ नहीं बेच पा रहा है, तो क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, या ये रीजन्स में पेनिट्रेशन इज लेस, क्यों पेनिट्रेशन इज लेस। तो वी ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई कि अच्छा उसको कैसे कर सकते हैं। उसमें ये भी देखा कि इंटरनेशनली अगर ये प्रॉब्लम आई थी कई कंट्री में, लाइक लेट्स से यूएस में आई थी 30 years बैक, तो हाउ डिड दे रिजॉल्व, वेयर कैन टेक्नोलॉजी प्ले अ फैक्टर नाउ। We say fintech, we say digital support, we so how are we going to leverage that, उसको कैसे करके
टेक को
करें।
कैसे सही तरीके से यूज करा
Right.
जाए कि हम इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट को सही से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करें। तो somehow you also gave some examples कि यूएसए में कैसे ये करा गया होगा, तो वो केस आपने भी उसमें प्रेजेंट करा होगा। इज इट ऑल्सो लाइक दैट, लाइक फ्यू
नहीं,
एग्जाम्पल्स?
वो थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए होता है, वी डोंट ऑलवेज
अच्छा,
इन्वॉल्व इट बिकॉज इंडिया इज अ वेरी यूनिक जोग्राफी एंड
या
कहीं और का solution is never relevant and you always have to customize it to our needs, so that is just for understanding, it's like part of a market research that you would do.
Like the distribution problem, we felt that rural India is a very big market jahan insurance is something which is very under penetrated. Reasons were of course government schemes and people also see a distribution challenge ki villages mein jaake insurance bechega kaun, premium kaun bharega, and all these doubts that companies have. So we had tried to devise a like hub and spoke model. We had recommended ki you leverage SHGs, self-help groups and women groups in villages to basically do this. वहाँ पे we talked to people who were actually operating in tier 2+ cities selling insurance, and the major concern that we found was कि लोगों को financial literacy ही नहीं है, उन्हें पता नहीं है कि insurance लेने से फायदा होता है। They only think of it as an expense, कि भाई they have a very reactive approach towards healthcare in general, कि जब बीमार होंगे तब देख लेंगे या जो भी है। Insurance is not something they would actively go out and buy for themselves. So we tried to go for that demographic in our C day round. And जैसे निसर्ग ने बोला, we gave a very in-depth solution to the last mile ki how will it happen, who will you employ, what kind of training you want to give to these people, and what is the exact communication that should be done. हमने उन्हें स्टैंडी का सैंपल बना के दिया दैट यू नो यू शुड पुट समथिंग लाइक दिस आउटसाइड हॉस्पिटल्स, आउटसाइड नर्सरीज, आउटसाइड डिस्पेंसरीज, जिससे लोगों को फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी बढ़े, पता चले इंश्योरेंस के बारे में। सो इट वाज अ वेरी इन डेप्थ सोल्यूशन इन सी डे, जिसके बाद बेसिकली हमें फीडबैक मिला सीनियर लीडरशिप से दैट रूरल एज अ डेमोग्राफिक इज नॉट समथिंग दैट द कंपनी इज वेरी इंटरेस्टेड इन currently, but they were very impressed with the work and the spade work that we had put in it. So they asked us to pivot it a little and focus more on urban areas. Urban के लिए भी we had suggested an approach which was data driven and AIML enabled. उसमें भी अगेन लाइक निसर्ग सेड, ऊपर ऊपर से कुछ नहीं बताया हमने, वी गिव देम अ वेरी इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस ऑफ एग्जैक्टली व्हाट टेक्नोलॉजी टू यूज वेयर एंड हाउ
जैसे
टू
एग्जांपल बताओगे, अर्बन में कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे यूज?
Like there it was more focused on the sales side of things, so हम sales automation recommend कर रहे थे। तो we talked about different aspects, so insurance में there is underwriting and then there is lead, so lead generation होता है तो उसको कैसे process करो, how will you involve, so it was not, we never looked like कि give them something out of the blue which is not at all synergizing with their current organization structure. What we looked is कि बजाज में अभी कैसे इंश्योरेंस बेचे जाते हैं, ठीक है, और उसको देखा कि अच्छा यहाँ पर हम कहाँ टेक्नोलॉजी लेवरेज करें कि इसको हम एफिशिएंट कर बना पाए। तो इट वाज इन synergy with the current organization, the current way they work. So it was completely like it was more like sales automation तो लीड जनरेशन, लीड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, अंडरराइटिंग प्रोसेस ऑटोमेट करना, ये सारी चीज़ें हमने रिकमेंड करी थी ऑन द प्रोसेस साइड ऑफ थिंग्स, द प्रोसेस इंटीग्रेशन, दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल इट.
सो दे रियली लाइक दैट अर्बन वाला पार्ट, और उसमें भी उनके क्या फीडबैक थे?
नहीं, they liked it a lot and they just asked us to expand on it more because seed A में हमने focus rural पे रखा था. So we
हाँ
did that in seed B. Corporate competitions में कि you will start from point A and as you progress through rounds and get feedback, आप कहीं और ही पहुंच जाते हो. So
हाँ,
you
इट
need to
हैपेंस,
be
इट
very
हैपेंस,
flexible. मतलब emotionally attached नहीं होना है idea से, नहीं तो you feel
दैट्स सो
really
ट्रू।
bad. So
या
ओपन टू फीडबैक एंड देन कंसिडरिंग लाइक कि जजेस आपको कुछ बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज वो इंडस्ट्री में है 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 सालों से, तो उनकी फीडबैक बहुत मैटर करती है. तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू बिल्ड ऑन दैट इन योर आइडिया थ्रू आउट द कॉम्पिटिशन. If you show that flexibility, it always ends up helping you in the end.
yeah.
दैट साउंड्स सो गुड। सो हाँ, फिर सीट बी में क्या हुआ? क्या आइडिया सजेस्ट हुए थे अर्बन वालों के लिए? जस्ट गिव अ 3 क्रेजी आइडिया जो आपको लगा था बहुत अच्छे आइडियाज थे, जो जिससे जजेस काफी इंप्रेस हुए थे।
हमारे आइडियाज वर ऑल वेरी वेरी टेक फोकस्ड. तो अर्बन में वी फर्दर क्लासिफाइड द प्रॉब्लम इनटू 3 एरियाज कि फर्स्ट थिंग वाज कि हमने क्या किया, हमने सब टाइप ऑफ कस्टमर्स को एक स्कोर आइडेंटिफाई करके दिया, देयर प्रोपेंसिटी टू कन्वर्ट, कि समवन हु इज in this age group of 25 to 30 is someone who's probably working their first or second job, is someone whose insurance is probably covered by their company. So what can we do for them so that they purchase an insurance? अब अगर उनका कंपनी कवर्ड है, what would make them purchase an insurance? थोड़े से छोटे सेगमेंट में आते हैं, let's say 18 to 23. These are people who are just finishing college or just finishing their education and might join workforce soon. इनके लिए फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी इज एन इशू, दे डोंट नो अबाउट इंश्योरेंस, दे डोंट नो अबाउट इट अ लॉट. तो वी गेव देम एन आइडिया कि गेमिंग इज समथिंग दैट कीप्स द यूथ एंगेज्ड अ लॉट. उस टाइम पबजी क्रेज एंड ऑल दीज गेम्स वर अ रेज. तो वी गिव देम एन आइडिया अबाउट टेलिंग पीपल अबाउट फाइनेंस एंड फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज एंड इंश्योरेंस थ्रू द गेम. So, like your character has died, you get an option. Purchase Bajaj Finserv health insurance for your character, and you can revive it 3 times more. So that is something that you can also tells you what insurance does, and is also giving you a plug-in knowledge into the game. So that was one of the ideas that we used. So just like that, so we had segmented a lot and we had given very specific recommendations for each segment based on the problem that they specifically faced in that segment.
सो दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड अप्रोच। लाइक इन अ मार्केटिंग आपको टारगेट ऑडियंस डिफाइन करनी होती है।
Right.
So, I mean, you're not from marketing, you're guys from an engineer, a little bit of finance background, and doing this way of thing is really show how smart you are.
We were
Yeah.
trying to incorporate the feedback, and this was I think it is very important that we mentioned this was not our first corporate competition. There are
Mm.
tens
We have
and
taken a lot of, yeah.
lot of competitions that you go through, and you look at the submissions, you look at the presentations, and then you understand, okay, what is working, what is not working. We did not have anyone telling us कि अच्छा ऐसे segmentation targeting करना होता है. This is something that we
Of
derived and
course.
learned over a few
That's
competitions that.
really good. That's really good. So, what was the second idea? एक था customer segmentation आपने proper किया. Second जो बहुत like they liked it.
Second was using automation for sales lead generation, like Nisarg said. So we recommended that like 80% of the problems are repetitive that people face for consumer support, customer support. So automating responses for them or having general SOPs for answering those sort of calls, or maybe devising a mechanism that does not require an intervention over call at all, digitize the whole journey wherever possible. So that was our second big idea that really stuck with them. And third, I think, was we tried to revamp their whole website. So we went on Bajaj Finserv's website and we tried to purchase health insurance, all of us. And as consumer, जो हमें problem face हो रही थी, we said this website needs a lot of work. And instead of just saying, you need to change the website, we gave them a prototype of the website. We built the website and we showed them that, this is how it should be, this is how the user journey should look like, and we revamped the website completely for them.
Oh.
So that was something that they liked.
Yeah, that's really good. Like in telling it, कि, listen, your website needs revamping because a lot of people, उन सब बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है जब when they work ना यार इसमें बहुत कमियां हैं, बट क्यों तो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर पाते. So एक चीज नोटिस की हमें लाइक कि कई बार लगता है this things need to be work, बट वो पेंडिंग में चला जाता है. But can someone show the sample right away? Okay, let's get that person. So I think it was ये बहुत ही ज्यादा impressive था. So last but not least coming to the final round. Final round में क्या हुआ था? Final round में क्या था मतलब? How many students were there जिनके साथ आप how many colleges groups were there जिनके साथ आप compete कर रहे थे final round में?
I think there were 8 teams in the final, if I'm not wrong.
8 teams. And कौन से colleges थे?
I think there were teams from IIM Calcutta, IIM Bangalore. There were a couple of teams from SIBM as well, or Symbiosis. So they were the previous year winners. There were two teams from the previous year winners college. So we were not sure about what would happen with us. Yeah, and I think final mein hamara focus was a lot on how we presented the idea, because you have 20 minutes to present and people get bored after 5 minutes. तो वही है, to keep things interesting and also making sure that our idea is going across. Big deliverables जो हैं वो सारे हम highlight कर रहे हैं, that how we are doing this. And at every stage I think हमने बहुत ख्याल रखा इस चीज़ का कि evaluation criteria क्या है. So their criteria was the potential of the idea, the scalability, uniqueness, and depth of understanding of the problem. So there was a lot of focus on how much research have you done to understand the problem. तो similarly हमारे presentation में भी वो resonate कर रहा था, that we had good 2 slides dedicated on market research. How did we get to the problems that we have gotten to? मतलब what is the insight behind it? We are not just recommending something क्योंकि हमें सोच के लगा कि this might work. No, we have data backing it. So that was our key focus area.
That is really important. Data के साथ अगर कुछ back होता है, it has more value. तो like basically last का यही presentation होता है कि हम presentation like PPT पे present करते हैं, कई बार तो हम कुछ skits भी करते हैं थोड़ा सा interesting बनाने के लिए. So क्या था last round में presentation was enough और भी कुछ नया किया था आपने?
I don't think हमारे पास time था कि हम कुछ skit करते.
नया ऐसा कर पाए.
Because we had, as I'm telling you, हमारे पास काफी information था देने के लिए, and it was very detailed. तो हमें बस our focus was कि we cover every base, we cover everything, and after that there is a Q&A round for every team. So the panel and the jury ask you questions, and corporate competition में ना what I've noticed is कि Q&A पे बहुत depend करता है, because आप कितनी भी सुंदर प्रेजेंटेशन बना लो, आप कितना ही अच्छे से रिहर्स करके प्रेजेंट कर दो, बट इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर द क्वेश्चंस दैट पीपल हैव फर्स्ट हैंड, इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू डिफेंड योर आइडिया फर्स्ट हैंड, देन इट लूजेस ऑल वैल्यू. देयर वर मेनी टीम्स जिनकी प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत अच्छी थी बट वो क्वेश्चंस नहीं आंसर कर पा रहे थे.
Q&A में क्या होता है, पता चल जाता है कि इंसान ने कितने डीप में जाके रिसर्च की.
यही क्वेश्चन पूछा कि आप में से कितने लोगों का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस है, एंड देन वी बेसिकली टोल्ड देम कि हमने तो कंपटीशन के बाद ही लिया है, एंड ऑल 4 of us got insurance, and that's how we came up with the idea of revamp.
Really, you actually bought an insurance afterwards उस competition के बाद?
Yeah, we did. We went through the whole customer journey.
You talked to your parents उसके बाद कि पापा आपने कभी इंश्योरेंस लिया था क्या, family health insurance and all?
Yeah, absolutely. We had that conversation because हमारे एज ग्रुप के लिए भी they were targeting, and we realized that in our age group our parents usually take care of these things कि okay, insurance and all this.
Okay, that's another level of dedication because health insurance खरीदना बहुत हेक्टिक होता है, बहुत सारे फॉर्म्स होते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजों का ध्यान रखना रहता है. So अगर आपने कभी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस नहीं खरीदा, आपको पता नहीं है. I have bought it, I know it, what it takes. So yeah, any final thoughts, Nisarg?
No, I think I'll just say that it's fun to engage into this such activities like doing these competitions. You also bond with your teammates. We did bond a lot over late night conversations where we were discussing the ideas, and then we were also discussing life. So I think it's really fun if you are here, if you are doing MBA, or if you are pursuing any degrees. I think it's just explore. There will always be something like this coming up, and take those opportunities, try those out. You will end up winning. If not, you will end up learning some things which will definitely help you somewhere in life. So this are really fun to take after. I mean, that's what I'll say.
So, Aditi, any final thoughts from your side?
Yeah, I totally resonate with what Nisarg just said. MBA में ना आके I heard बहुत बच्चों की complaint होती है, कितना applicable है what we are studying, what we are reading, क्या करें हम इसका. But you know, it's when you participate in these competitions, you get to know कि industry में क्या हो रहा है, and what is happening, because especially for Bajaj, because it is problem statements from CEO's office. This is something that is actually happening on ground right now. And the exposure that you get talking to people who are, you know, CEOs heading these big companies, उनसे आप one on one interact कर रहे हो, they are telling you what is happening in the industry. ये बहुत कम opportunity मिलती है to interact with such senior leadership, even if you join the firm. कितनी बार you'll get to interact with the CFO or the CEO. But here through this competition, it's amazing. And obviously, you get the PPI and PPO and the rewards and the cash prizes. And obviously, those are added advantages. But yeah, you do learn a lot.
So, yeah, the one thing that I learned from like both of you कि आप लोगों ने कंपटीशन को एवे नहीं लिया, सीरियसली लिया था. आई मीन लाइक 5 लाख जब कैश प्राइस था वो ऐसे ही किसी को नहीं दिया था कि मतलब इट्स अ वेरी बिग प्राइस. तो मतलब काफी एक सीरियस कंपटीशन था. और जो दिख रहा है आपकी समझ में से, आपने एक सेगमेंटेशन पूरा टारगेट लाइक पूरा टारगेटिंग करी. इस ऑडियंस को हम ऐसे कैटर करेंगे, इस ऑडियंस को ऐसे कैटर करेंगे, इस एज ग्रुप को ऐसे कैटर करेंगे. दैट्स रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. जब भी हम कोई मार्केटिंग या कोई भी प्रॉब्लम में से सॉल्व करते हैं, एंड इट शोज कि लास्ट में जाके आपने इंश्योरेंस भी बाय किया, मतलब दैट शोज अ रियल डेडिकेशन कि हाँ यार काम करना तो अच्छे से करना है एंड ऑल. सो यार थैंक यू सो मच. एंड टू ऑल आवर ऑडियंस कि अगर आप ऐसी और कॉम्पिटिशन के विनर्स को चाहते हो कि हम लाए, देन प्लीज उन कॉम्पिटिशन के नाम आप अपने हमारे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख दीजिए. विल डेफिनेटली ब्रिंग देम. सो यार थैंक यू सो मच.
इट वॉज सो इंसाइटफुल एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर कि आप सबको एक जस्ट मिल गया होगा कि हाउ दिस कॉन्टेस्ट रियली वर्क. बट यार नाउ आई फील रियली रिग्रेटफुल कि मेरे कॉलेज के टाइम पर अगर मुझे इन सब कंपटीशन के बारे में पता होता तो मैं भी कॉलेज में ही अमीर हो जाती. बट डोंट वरी, ग्रुपलेस ये फोमो आपको नहीं होने देंगे, क्योंकि हम ऐसे ही और बहुत सारे कॉम्पिटिशन के विनर्स को आपसे इंट्रोड्यूस करवाने वाले हैं ताकि आप अपनी कॉलेज लाइफ को एक प्रो की तरह यूटिलाइज कर पाओ. एंड एट लास्ट, वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो मेक श्योर टू शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स. एंड यस, दबा दो यार सब्सक्राइब बटन भी. बाय बाय, टेक केयर.